Hi guys, this is Monica at cabinecrewexcellence.com. Today we thought we'll give you a little bit of a pep talk about happiness and how to keep yourself happy and motivated, especially when the job gets a bit more challenging. So throughout the years, we've come across countless individuals, either cabin crew, tourists that we met in our layovers, or passengers coming from all walks of life. It's a well-known fact that we all send out some sort of energy, good or not so good. And that energy is subconsciously picked up by everybody we come in contact with, just like we pick up other people's energies. Our vibration influences not only us, but affects other people's perception and our relationships with those around us, and most importantly, our relationship with ourselves. So that's a fact. Now, one of the bigger challenges we've had so far was blocking out negative energy and maintaining our spirit and the spirits of our cabin crew teams as high as possible. That's not an easy task, right? Especially when you consider the fact that misery loves company and one negative attitude quickly drags the entire spirit down. If you're part of the wonderful cabin crew population, you surely heard the usual moans and complaints about how tiring the job gets, how restrictive this or that company is, or how much it lacks perspective, and there's nothing happy happening in any airline. Now, all too often, we tend to get up in the thick of thin things and forget the reason why we chose to fly in the first place. So, although we don't argue the fact that being cabin crew comes with a fair share of challenges, we encourage each one of you to change your perspective a little bit and the way you deal with everything that might come your way, professionally or personally. So that's easier said than done, right? How do you go about it? Well, we've adopted and encouraged our team members towards 10 simple things in order to stay positive and send out a positive vibe so they can hopefully motivate those around them to do the same. The first thing would be defining happiness. Ultimately, this is everybody's aim, right? That's why we choose education, a career, a certain job, because we want to be happy. But the concept is different for every person. So what does a happy you look like? What would you have to know or see or feel or have to be happy? So find that out and plan to achieve it. The second thing would be, if you're unhappy with your job or your environment, just change it. Before you do that though, make sure you're just not being picky or finding reasons to be unhappy. Because if that's the case, you would only be dealing with the result, not the cause of your unhappiness. And you will end up being just as unhappy in whatever job you might undertake next. Remember why you wanted to fly in the first place. The excitement you felt when you got offered the job and started traveling around the world. If along the way you discovered this job really isn't where you want to be, that's fine, but just move on. The third thing would be culturally aware. We tend to get very frustrated with gestures or attitudes that are nothing more than cultural differences. You have to understand the culture of the place you are in or the people you interact with, because that will spare you a great deal of emotional grief. Point number 4 would be, don't take anything personally. What people do or say, the way they behave or treat you, has no bearing on who you are as a person or a professional. What you have to do is just be kind and respectful with everybody, and don't let negative attitudes get to you or change your own attitude for the worse. Point 5 is, take the time to live your own experience. This is especially important when you find yourself in a new job or a new environment. Everybody will rush to tell you all about this job, this company, or this country, and more often than not, it will be mostly negative talk. You have to remember that we all voice subjective opinions based on our own experience of a place, a person, or a job. But you are your own person with your personal expectations and ability to contribute, and you might see or feel things very different than everybody else around you. So listen to what's being said, that's fine, but give yourself time to live your own experience. Build your own friendships and create your own memories before labeling things based on other people's experiences. Point number 6 would be, do an incredibly good job. If you're feeling bad about your job or the environment or your colleagues, it's important that you don't fail to complete your tasks with efficiency and professionalism nonetheless. At the end, our choices are what we're left with when all is said and done, right? If you slack because you're unhappy with one thing or another, other colleagues will have to work harder to compensate for your slackness, and it will not make you feel any better at the end. Point 7 is stay positive. After all, it's only a matter of perspective, so change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will eventually change. Point 8, turn obstacles into challenges. Face them head on and let them grow you. Every experience contributes to building a better you, and especially the negative experiences contribute to your personal and professional development much more than the positive experiences. Point 9 would be expanding your social circle. Become friends with people who aren't your age or from your social circle. Get to know somebody who doesn't come from your social class. This is how you will grow yourself. You will learn new skills and develop new abilities within yourself. The last point would be never stop investing in yourself in your pursuit of what you envision to be happiness. Learn another language, pick up another skill, or just help somebody get better at something that will enrich their lives. Most importantly, whatever you do, make sure you do something, anything, that will bring you closer to your happiness every single day. So there is no secret ingredient for success or a magic potion that would guarantee it will all be alright. Our attitude and the way we allow people or places or experiences to affect our lives are all within our control. So don't sit around and become part of the group that are constantly complaining and waiting for life to happen to them. Define your own vision of happiness, understand what you have to do to achieve it, and make the journey notable. You have to remember that one day our lives will flash before our eyes. We need to make sure it's worth watching. Take care for now, and blue skies.